What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of SSX-1 and welcome back to the channel. We've got season 41, war number 4, 5, and 6, and the reason why there's 3 wars grouped into one is honestly that in my area we actually have been without power for close to 5-6 days, so we had a little bit of a mini ice storm. So because of that, unfortunately, I put my battle group in a very awkward situation where they had to plan war with 9 people as opposed to 10 because I had no cell tower in the area. We had no Wi-Fi. There was no power. Basically, the whole island was more or less blacked out for a number of days and couldn't really get through to things. So the first 2 wars being War 4 and War 5 being against Newn and Legion. I only have 1 fight between the 2 because the first one there's no way I could get on, and like I was barely able to place initially. Fortunately, I was able to do that. So you're gonna see some kind of just the results from that. So on the first war against Newn, they had a strong showing. They ended up only dying twice to our 7, and unfortunately in the and our battle group had a less than stellar showing in that one, which ultimately ended up to them beating us, which is too bad. But in the second war, we had our war number 5. We were up against Legion, and my connection and power, well, I wasn't at my own house. I ended up being at my mother-in-law's, where I was able to get some solid internet connection. So on this one, they allowed me to take the Hazard Shift Nick Fury with Hulkling. And if you guys saw my last video, you know how excited I am, or sorry, 2 videos ago, to have him at R5. And that, as I said, I was going to try to get a little bit better in how I use him. So what my plan is moving forward with him is to back up, be a little more passive at the beginning, get kind of 3 to 4 Pierce charges up. So then the 5th one ends up being unblockable, which chains to an SP2. So that's the plan. Whether or not that happens or not is another story. So here I'm just waiting for him so I can hit into the block because I had enough. There's the 4th and there's the 5th unblockable. So because I throw the SP2, I get the 2 power backs, which instantly pushes me back to an SP2. But because I messed up, I got pushed to an SP3 and took an SP1 to the face. So never ideal. At this point, I was trying to bait out the incinerate phase because I think at one point in the fight, I completely forgot that it was the Hazard Shift and that obviously Hulkling is not immune to incinerate. So I had to wait for that cycle to be out. And then once I went back in, the damage that Hulkling was doing was just, it's just nice. I mean, I'm really enjoying using this champ, I'm not gonna lie. Here again, I'm just waiting for the incinerate phase to be over before I go in and attack. Push through the block. Look at that, the medium right through at 7k, 8. Oh my gosh, the damage is just unbelievable. He's so much fun using him at R5. I'm really happy I was able to rank him up. And for that war specifically, again, unfortunately, we lost again, 5-2 to Legion. They put up again a good battle, and we couldn't come out with it. But again, I want to thank my officers and my battle group for being patient. Again, at this point, we're 5-6 days without electricity. The temperature in the house is cold. So, but all I'll say is the family's safe, everyone's good, and now the electricity has come back on in my house. I am now back home on day 2, and am able to get a proper Wi-Fi signal. The cell towers are now working again, and able to have a nice war lined up for you. So it took a little bit of a bribing and maybe some sympathy, but I finally was able to get my Penny off of defense and into war. So if you've followed any of my videos from, let's say, previous seasons, you'll know that Penny is, or has been, my favorite champ in the game. Very effective using her. For an effective Penny cycle, SP1 when they're about to cross 1 or 2 bars of power to build up your Spidey charges, and then build back up to an SP2 and launch it and hope that that kills the champ. So in this case here, Wong, I know he can be very complicated when he gets kind of over his, was it 90 or 60 or 70? I forget what the charges are, where damage coming back, but I elected to still throw it, get the 12 incinerates on with my SP2, and then just kind of watch him melt away. So I only had 1 Penny fight this war. very happy to bring her in. I have used her a lot in the past. Like I said, I really love using her, and happy to get her back on offense instead of in defense. So it might open me up for some additional fights moving forward. So now next one, we've got this penny fight here. I ended up using an AP1, like advanced power boost. Oh my gosh, I love that. 4 hits into the cycle and her shield's already down. It's amazing. So I use that to get to the SP2 faster, to allow me to throw a bunch of SP2s when I can. And with the power backs, in hindsight, probably not the best idea, because as soon as I hit the first one, I go back to a 1 power bar of power, which triggers the indestructible on their side. So I ended up having to throw a lot more specials than I would have liked, because in a normal situation, this fight would have been done already after the first one, let alone the second. But all to say is that felt very, very comfortable. Again, knowing how Penny works and her dynamic, her mechanics, very, very comfortable there. And with the SP3 animations, she is now down. So Warren, fight number 2 of 5 down. So I'm very happy to showcase Hulkling again, and really excited that I'll be able to use him moving forward in an offense capacity as opposed to having him on defense. So this one here, Miguel, as I've mentioned in previous videos, Miguel, I am not a regular Miguel user. So, but this one here, I am not particularly worried. So with the advanced power boost, I push to the SP2 because I don't have any of these synergies to help put Wither on right away. So with the SP2 launched, I get the Wither up, and then I just start hitting into block, doing some additional damage. And my goal, obviously I have to kind of dex to keep the, to pause this debuffs. But my goal was to, again, build back to an SP2 and then launch it. But all in all, pretty safe fight. Not triggering any buffs, obviously, so I don't get the degen on me. And I've played Mojo enough in the past that he doesn't scare me at all. So just like that, minute 10 seconds in, he was down. Very happy with the way the Miguel fight worked out. And this one here, try not to blink. This is a standard or typical showcase, I believe, of how most Hulkling fights should go, assuming there's no indestructible or other things that are prohibiting like the additional damage that's going on. Because when this fight finished, I honestly thought it was 9 seconds. Like, it felt like 9 seconds. It ended up being a little bit longer than that, but this is how I'm excited to potentially be using Hulkling kind of moving forward. So again, I don't have this sped up just because I wanted to see the full effect of it. But as you can see, I'm playing a little more passive to build up my cosmic charges, getting the 4 kind of pierce factors on, building to the SP2. And then after that, I'm going to hit into the block, trigger the unblockable, get the double fury up, and boom, 22, 33, 21. And basically after 1 SP2 with the 2 furies up, she is dead. And again, I threw the second one just for good measure, but wow. He is a lot of fun to use, and I am just loving every second of every fight I get assigned with him. So here is another one that I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that in my duels, because he doesn't gain any buffs, he will never trigger any of the astral form. So this fight ends up becoming very, very easy for Miguel. So again, building to the SP2, have the Wither up, and then hit into the block when I can. I mean, in this case, he wasn't kind of playing very passive, so it was hard to get kind of get those ruptures up. But for the most part, it went very, very smoothly. Again, I was able to hit into it, building up the ruptures, countering when I can. But at no point in time did I ever feel I was at risk, knowing that the Astral Evade wouldn't kick in. And basically 2 SP2s, and then just a bunch of hit into the blocks, and then I believe the ruptures, end up just finishing off the job. So all in all, happy to be back into war, happy to be back making the videos again. And as you can see in the graphic above, we posted a 163, 2 deaths to their 3. And had a pretty good showing. So with the exception of the last kind of 2 wars where we struggled a bit, my fault that, well, my fault, forces outside my my control, where the battle group had to use 9 attackers, which is never an ideal situation. But we ended up winning this war 7-2, which is great. So it puts us to 3-3 on the season, moves me to 18-0 on the season, and really excited to see what will happen in the back half of this season. I'm excited to potentially bring more petty fights, more Hulkling fights, definitely more Hulkling fights, man. I am just loving him, just loving using him. It's just been so much fun. Fights have been quick and just so much fun. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Very, very close to those 100 subs, so thank you very much for those that have joined on and are continue to support the channel. I think I'm 2 away now from getting that elusive 100. So if you're not subscribed, please do so, hit the like, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks all, take care.